Good morning, students. I am Manikant Mishra, Modern English School, New Area. So yesterday we had already discussed about the importance of carbon in our daily life. So now let us see that how carbon achieve its octet. So first of all, carbon has atomic number 6, so its electronic configuration is 2, 4. Carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell. So if you recall from class 9, then the carbon has a valency 4. That's why it is often called that carbon is a tetravalent. Why it is called tetravalent? Because it has a 4 electron in its valence shell and its valency is 4. Carbon has a valency 4. That's why carbon is called tetravalent. Now, carbon tries to achieve the nearest noble gas configuration. Now, we have already discussed both the types of bond, ionic bond as well as covalent bond. Now, if you apply like a losing of 4 electron, when carbon loses 4 electron, in order to form C4 plus, in order to achieve the nearest noble gas like of helium, carbon has to lose 4 electrons. But losing 4 electrons due to consideration of energy is not possible. Energetically, it is not favorable. Energetically, it is not favorable to lose 4 electrons in order to form C plus 4. Very large amount of energy is required in this process. Very large amount of ionization energy is required in order to convert carbon into carbon plus 4 to achieve the nearest noble gas configuration like of helium. Now, like here is electronic configuration 2, 4, here is now 2, that is of helium configuration. As I said, it is not possible due to consideration of high amount of energy, high amount of ionization energy is required. The second thing that now after losing of 4 electron, now carbon 4 plus has only 2 electrons. Now, but at the same time, carbon has 6 protons. In its nucleus, carbon has here 6 proton, 6 neutron, and in its shell only 2 electrons are. Now, there will be unbalanced force between electron and the nucleus. This is also not possible. There will be no balance between the nucleus force and the electronic force. There is a unbalanced force acting between them. This is another prominent reason that carbon cannot lose 4 electron in order to form C plus 4. As I said, very high amount of ionization energy is required. So energetically it is not favorable to form C plus 4 ion. The second reason that after losing 4 electron, now carbon has only 2 electron. Now there are only 2 electron and there is a 6 proton. So there will be unbalanced force acting between the nucleus and the electron. So these two factors lead that carbon cannot form C plus 4. Now next step, if carbon cannot lose electron, can carbon gain 4 electron in order to form C minus 4? After gaining 4 electron, now its electronic configuration is like of neon, that is a 2, 8. Now C minus 4. Once again here you see that carbon has 10 electron. Carbon has now 10 electron, but the proton is only 6. Again there will be an unbalanced force between the proton and the electron. Once again, there will be unbalanced force between the proton or nucleus and the electron. That also makes carbon unstable. So carbon cannot form C minus 4. The another reason that carbon is very small in size. Carbon is very small in size. So when you add 4 more electron in its outermost shell, then there will be electron repulsion. Since carbon is very small in size, when you are adding 4 more electron in their outermost shell, there will be electron repulsion. So due to electron repulsion, the addition of 4 more electron is also not possible in the case of carbon. As I said first off, when you add 4 electron in order to form C minus 4, then carbon will have total number of electrons is 10. But in a proton, number of proton is 6. So 6 proton cannot hold 10 electrons. So there will be an unbalanced between the proton, nucleus and the electron. So carbon cannot form C minus 4. Another reason, due to small size of carbon, addition of 4 more electron is also not possible because of electron repulsion takes place. It means there is a very less tendency, or almost we can say the carbon has no tendency that to form either C plus 4 or C minus 4. It means carbon cannot form ionic bond. Carbon cannot form ionic bond. Neither carbon has a tendency to form C plus 4, nor it has a tendency to form C minus 4. It means carbon cannot lose or carbon cannot gain. So there is no question of formation of ionic bond by carbon atom. So only way to achieve 8 electron in its outermost shell is only and only by mutual sharing of electron, that is by covalent bond. That's why carbon always forms covalent bond. So carbon achieve 8 electron in its outermost shell by mutual sharing of electron, or carbon achieve its 8 electron by formation of covalent bond. Let us take. So let us apply that how carbon achieve 8 electrons in its valence shell. Carbon achieve its 8 electron in its valence shell by mutual sharing of electron, so called by the formation of covalent bond. Now you see that carbon combined with 4 hydrogen. Now you see each carbon has 4 electron in its outermost shell. So in order to distinguish it, I have put the dot for carbon and cross for hydrogen. So each carbon has 4 electron in its outermost shell, and each hydrogen has 1 electron in its outermost shell. Hydrogen tries to achieve the nearest noble gas configuration, that is of helium, and carbon tries to achieve its nearest stable electron configuration of nearest noble gas, that is of neon. So each hydrogen need 1 electron. So you see hydrogen acquired 1 pair of electron, 1 electron sharing by carbon. Another hydrogen again next, and all the hydrogen achieve its nearest noble gas configuration, that is of helium, by sharing with carbon. Now there is a turn for the carbon. Now you see that carbon achieve 8 electron in its outermost shell by mutual sharing with 4 hydrogen atom. While doing this, carbon forms 4 bond with 4 hydrogen atoms. CH4. This is of CH4. Now these 4 bonds are arranged in a tetrahedron fashion. These 4 bonds are arranged 4 corners of a tetrahedron. Now corner has 4 hydrogen. 4 corners are there, so 4 hydrogen atoms are there. Now at CH bond angle, HCH bond angle is of 109 degree 28 minute. As we have already studied in class 9 maths, that angle can be expressed in degree, minute and second. So the bond angle between hydrogen, carbon and hydrogen is 109 degree 28 minute. These 4 bonds around the carbon are occupied in a tetrahedron shape, and the bond angle between them is 109 degree 28 8 million. So it is called tetrahedron. 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 The shape of CH4 is a tetrahedron. Now, one of the remarkable property of carbon is link with another carbon atoms and forms a long chain. One of the remarkable property of carbon is to combine with another carbon atoms and forms a long chain. This property of forming bond with the same carbon atom is called catenation. What is called? Catenation. Catenation means self-linkage. The tendency to form bonds with atoms of the same element. Carbon, 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 carbon. So this property is called catenation. What is a catenation? The ability of carbon atom form bonds with another carbon atoms, or that element that which forms bond with the same atoms is called catenation. In language, we call it as a self-linkage capacity. Catenation means self-linkage capacity. So, one atom can combine with another atoms of the same element, like a carbon, 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 oxygen, 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 sulfur, 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 silicon, silicon, silicon. If these types of linkage is taking place, then we call that this element has a catenation property. So carbon in out of 118 element, the carbon has the highest catenation property. Why carbon has a highest catenation property? What is with it? So first, the cause of catenation. Cause of catenation. Cause of catenation. As I said, what is the catenation? Self-linkage capacity. Property of a carbon due to which it combines with another carbon atoms. Property of a carbon due to which it combines with another carbon atom and forms a long chain. Property of a carbon atom due to which it combines with another carbon atom and forms a long chain is called catenation. As I said, carbon has a highest catenation in the periodic table. So now what are the causes of catenation? First, tetravalency. Second, small size. Small size. Third, bond strength. Bond strength. So these three prominent regions that favors the highest power of catenation. The carbon shows maximum catenation in the periodic table because of tetravalency, small size and bond strength. When carbon connect, When carbon-carbon connection, then the bond strength between these carbon and this carbon is very high. That is of 335 kilojoule per mole. This bond strength, like not only make the friend, making a friend is very easy, but to make it continue for a long period of time is really a tough. So not only forming the bond, but it should be stable. It should not easily break. That's why the bond, that is called bond strength. The carbon-carbon bond strength is very, very strong. That's why its compound, once the carbon forms the compound, is very, very stable. So these three regions are responsible for the maximum power of catenation. Tetravalence is small size and bond strength. Student, please watch the video carefully, honestly, and let me know if you have any kind of doubt. Thank you. Have a nice day.